took the first 2 tapeworm capsules, she went several months feeling okay, minus some abdominal symptoms. During this time, tapeworm grew in her gut. It ate her food. It caused her abdominal pain and discomfort. It's possible that these were all Taenia saginata eggs. But given her seizures and her headache and the bumps all over her body, and knowing that Solium and not Saginata causes those problems, it means that there was definitely more than just Saginata in this bottle. And this infection is called cysticercosis. Do you remember her high cerebrospinal fluid pressure? Well, cysticerci often embed into the brain. Sometimes they can crawl their way into the subarachnoid space where the cerebrospinal fluid is. And because the extra space taken up increases the pressure, it causes a mass effect. This could happen without triggering increases in protein or sugar in the CSF, which explains why the medical team didn't find anything when they did the lumbar puncture that one time. It explains her headaches, and the cysts may have still been small or in a place where they didn't take a scan. Involvement of the brain makes this neurocysticercosis. Do you remember that TE would randomly regain consciousness during the day? Well, those were seizures. When someone suddenly loses consciousness like that, they can fall and break their bones or hit their head. If no one is around in the latter, everything could be over. This brings us to the idea of weighing risk to benefit. In able-bodied individuals, weight loss can be achieved by diet and exercise together. The cost involved is time, commitment, and know-how, with the benefit being weight loss. So this end result can be achieved without taking anything special. However, sometimes that cost is too high for some, so they'll take a risk by taking something special to get the benefit. And this risk is where some problems can start to emerge. A long-term study followed patients who had neurocysticercosis. Their symptoms were severe, like weakness on one side of the body, numbness, double vision, or vision loss, because tapeworm cysts were all over their brain. You would think that medicines would solve their problem, no more brainworms, and that was the case, but years, even decades would go by, and they would slowly or suddenly experience permanent vision changes, personality changes, diminished cognitive functions. Imaging would show that the cysts degenerated. The medicine did do some work on them, but they never really went away. None of this would have happened had the Taenia solium never gotten into their body in the first place, but these cases were accidental infections. TEs was deliberate, and the benefit of losing some weight does not outweigh these permanent risks that can happen. When the medical team asked TE when she ate these eggs, they realized that this is something that happened recently over the last year. She may have had Taenia saginata and Taenia solium tapeworms in her body, but the cysts that had lodged into her brain and the rest of her body were very likely the latter. Figuring out the species probably wouldn't be cost effective because the medicine to treat both is the same. TE was given praziquantel. This medicine forces calcium into the tapeworm's muscles. Because muscle contractions use calcium as the confirmatory signal, loading a huge amount of calcium into the tapeworm forces its muscles to contract, and it can't stop contracting. This forces the worm to detach from the gut. A second medicine, albendazole, was given. This starves the parasite of sugar and depletes its energy, destroying it. Because dead worms would be in her brain, steroids were given to her to limit her body's inflammatory reaction. These are the same medicines that were given to the long-term patients. While this treatment's goals are to eliminate the cysts, it's always possible